afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Campus Care Ed-Talks. Ed-Talks is a platform where educators and leaders come on board and express their viewpoints related to education and society. Our topic for the day is: are the new trends in education actually making a difference? And to express his viewpoints on the same, we have with us Mr. Harshit Bansal, sir, Director of Abhinav Group of Schools, New Delhi, MD of Abhinav Junior Schools, Territory Head of Delhi, and Early Childhood Association of India. A very warm welcome, sir.
Thank you.
How are you doing, sir? It's so great to have you here on this platform.
I am doing great, and it's an absolute honor to be at the Campus Care Ed-Talks that we are hosting today. Absolute honor.
Thank you so much, sir. So let's start off with the session, sir, shall we?
Yes, please, without delay.
So, sir, when we talk about the, trends, the newest trends in education. So, after the pandemic, there was, rise in so many trends, like bite-sized learning, project-based learning, and social emotional learning. So, do you think are they here to stay, or is just a fad? How do you see it?
So, we've been calling this a new trend in education, at least after what we've experienced in the pandemic. All the children was attending their classes from their households itself, and they did develop a certain type of learning gap that was present. So to overcome those, educators around the world came up with new and different ideas, and which was required as well. It was needed as well. So the most important trend that we have picked up from the pandemic, or that we have learned from the pandemic, is the social emotional learning aspect of the child's life. Since the schools have physically opened once again, since April 2022, what we've observed is that the child has a certain gap in what he's feeling and how he's expressing. So that gap is why, because the child since 2 years was attending his classes, being at its home itself. The child which was in upper KG in session 2021 now entered grade 3 in session 22-23. So those two fundamental years of where he learns to express himself in the classroom are gone. Same goes for the adolescent child and the child who's entered teenage as well. So there was a much required need of taking up the subject of social and emotional learning, which the educators around the globe have taken up, and in past 4 months and 5 months of operation, they have shown a tremendous result and a change in how students have started expressing themselves, have started speaking out what is inside of them, because staying at home they did experience a different part of life.
Yeah.
Earlier, half of their day was spent in the school, but now they did experience the whole day at their family with their families. They got disconnected with their friends, they got disconnected with their teachers, they got disconnected with the peer learning, their peers, their friends. So they forgot how to express. And as we know, there are only one, or at maximum two siblings at a given home, due to the nuclear culture that we are following right now. So there is no one to talk to the child, to come down at his age group, come down at his age level, and ask the child what actually is going on in his mind, how he is feeling trapped into his room and his household, and not being able to go out and play with his friends.
Yeah.
So that social emotional learning is going to stay with us for a long period of time, because now we've understood that yes, a child psychology is as much as important as we feel that an adult psychology is.
Yeah.
So apart from these, the hybrid mode of learning that has emerged will stay here, but how much it will be affected in the classroom, that is a question, is still a question in all of our minds, that how much is the technology present in a classroom, how much do we define too much. So yes, that is still a questionable issue, that how much will be too much, but yes, technology is going to remain in a classroom and it will never fade away.
Thank you so much, sir. So we just talked about, the students. when they were in pandemic, getting bored, and there was nobody to talk to, and things like this. So and the psychology of a child, I feel like it's a child psychology is more important than than an adult psychology, because we often are the way we are because of our childhood traumas. I don't know if it's that, if you agree with me or not, but yeah.
I totally resonate with this fact itself, that what you experience and what you are exposed to in
Yeah.
your childhood, that is what you become as and what you are adult is.
Absolutely, sir. And they always say, that it's easier to create strong children than to repair broken adults. So, yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Moving forward, when we talk about these new trends in education, so are these trends actually contributing in any ways to the development of students?
Absolutely, these new trends have brought out a new horizon for the educators as well.
Yeah.
They have started coming out of the rote learning methods, and they have themselves become inquisitive and curious enough to how we can do better than what we are doing today. They themselves are coming up with solutions. Key, yes, sir and ma'am, this is what we can do to improve what we are actually doing till date. So they have come up with new ideas of assessment. They have come up with new ideas of teaching. They have come up with new ideas and ways of imparting the concepts that were being taken up in their lesson plans and their classrooms. So yes, these ideas and these technologies and this shift from the rote learning method to what we are experiencing today has brought a marvelous and a wonderful change in the classrooms. The classroom enthusiasm nowadays is much higher than what it's supposed to be, and it actually was before the pandemic. The children, as they have come back after 2 years into the school, they are also curious enough to mend that bridge, that gap of 2 years. So their enthusiasm is also above peak, and the teachers also, via the means of these new trends that have come up, they have outdated themselves, they had outpasted themselves, and they are coming up with the new ideas of their own.
Yeah.
So yes, these have contributed to a lot, I must say.
Thank you so much, sir. That was a very well explained by you. So, would you, mind sharing some techniques that you have, came across recently, or maybe in the pandemic?
So regarding some new ways, innovative ways to do some things that were already we were doing was, see, the first thing that innovatively came up were how to take the assessments. And before pandemic also, this was a question in our minds, that how do we change the assessments, because assessments were basically taken from on pen and a paper.
Yeah.
And the child, as not only the child, as soon as he is launching himself into the world, he is not exposed to pen and paper now. He's
Yeah.
exposed to technology, he's exposed to mobiles, laptops, tablets, and whatnot. So the pen and paper element goes away there.
Yeah.
But this pandemic told us ki this can be modified. So tech giants like Google, Microsoft came in. They provided their resources where these assessments can be changed. These assessments can not only be taken into pen and paper, but they can be taken in a way different, that was different than pen and paper. So they provided us with assessment tools like video assessments. So there was a platform called Flipgrid by Microsoft, wherein we used to ask the children to record their own videos and upload them on their class channels that were made on Flipgrid, and the teacher used to watch them, analyze them on the basis of the fluency the child has, the pronunciation the child has, the use of vocabulary he has done, the props that he has made while expressing what he is trying to say, and of course the content that was present in it. So basically it was an integrated approach of assessment. You could assess English, the language proficiency, you could assess the content delivery, you could assess the theatrics and the oratory skills also, plus the art and craft in the props that the child was making. So not only the way of assessment was changed, but it also provided an integrated source of assessment. So Flipgrid was one. Then there was a platform called as Kahoot, where the teacher used to make his own quizzes and leave it in the classroom for the children to play with, and the children came up with amazing results. So such kind of tools and technologies the teacher has used in the classroom to mend her ways of concept of teaching and learning.
Flipgrid does really sound very amazing. Thank you
It,
so
it
much.
is,
Yeah.
it is, it is. The children, we were not expecting the children to come out so well in that platform,
Hmm.
but it made a few students of our classrooms to make their own YouTube channels, and now they're,
Yeah.
talking about their areas of interest, whether be it gaming or be it their artworks or be it their, any area of proficiency they are in. They have made their own YouTube channels. They are recording their videos, be not they are not professionally recorded videos obviously, but it has exposed them to a platform where they are coming out and expressing themselves. So that is what is a big gain for each and every educator that out there is.
Absolutely, sir. So, lastly, sir, just a second. What if you just told us about this Flipgrid and all the new techniques that are being used. So, what if someone doesn't adapt to these trends? So, do you think there's some harm, or what kind of harm would that make? Yeah.
See, point number one that you are saying that is if some student does not adapt to these trends, it is impossible to not adapt to these trends, because you look at a year-old guy, a year-old girl today. He or she does not know how to speak, but he or she does know how to use her mama's or father's phone to open YouTube and look at her favorite content on that. So it is impossible for a child of today's Gen X or 21st century child to barge his way out of this trend or this technology that we have been talking about. So it is not possible. Students are going to adapt, not because the teacher is imposing the trend onto the child, but because the peer group of his classroom is following that. So peer learning is the most effective way of learning. That also got proved from this point as well. Even if the child was not good enough, he got down to his peers, understood what his flaws and what his concerns were, and he eradicated them. So it is not a question of how the child will adapt. He surely will adapt. Our concern comes in where how much technology becomes too much.
Yeah.
So this always has been my concern. Ki how much should we expose the child to technology? Till what age, till what parameters, till what amount, and till what excess. So the point is not adaptation, the point is how much adaptation. Yeah, how much exposure should the child have in its at least till teenage, so that he is able to take the decision of right or wrong, whether he when he takes up the second chapter of his life. So till before that, we need to train him whether what and how is right and what and how is wrong for him.
Absolutely, sir. Very well said. We should be, aware that how much technology is enough. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Harshit sir, for being here today. It was really wonderful having you here. I hope you too did enjoy the session.
I did enjoy this session. We could have gone on long and long over this conversation, because this topic is very close to my heart, and it is a topic close to every educator's heart, at least nowadays.
Yeah.
Because the NEP is also talking about integration of technology. The COVID has also taught us the importance of technology. So yes, choosing and deliberating over such a topic is a pleasure, and on a platform like this is always a much added, cherry on the top of the cake. So yes, I overly enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, sir. We too did enjoyed you having you here. Thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you, Intapt, for having me over here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. And for all the viewers watching us out, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stuff like this. Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you.